Today we're going to help you improve your contact and your power by just understanding what the right arm should be doing in your backswing, because it'll make sure that on the downswing that things can actually do what they need to do to help you have better impact and create more power in your golf swing. So we're going to break those down into 3 very simple ideas, simple steps. You can put them in one at a time, or you can try to do them all at one time. They're not that complicated, so this should really help you play better golf without you having to work really hard on it. And if you're brand new to our channel, make sure you subscribe. If you hit the bell button down in the corner, you'll see our future videos. If you're a subscriber, we appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's content. So one of the first things that I need to see has to do with your setup in your right arm. We want your right arm to be slightly bent and a little bit turned underneath, okay? So when you set up to it, if your right arm is in the right position, those forearms should really hide behind one another. A lot of the times we'll see somebody's hand kind of on top and their right arm kind of straight. That's going to be somebody who's really going to struggle with having open club face hitting slices. So if you're one of those people, we need to change what your right arm looks like. One of the reasons we want the right arm to look like that in your setup is when it comes back down into impact, when you're doing stuff right, all right, that elbow is still kind of facing that way. It's very similar to how we set up, just a little bit more forward. So if you start off out here, you'll tend to have kind of a chicken wing type of look at the top of your backswing, and it'll be really hard for you to get back into that position with that arm and impact. All right, so make sure your impact, your right arm is set up correctly so it can help your impact down the line. The second step to better ball striking has to do with what your right wrist and your right arm do as you take the club away. Okay, so if we're talking about what your right wrist should do, we want it to feel like as you swing back, it creates a little bit of a cup. Okay, or if you've seen probably waiter tray type ideas in golf swings, all right, we want that to happen with your right arm. If you swing it back and there's no cup in that wrist there, face tends to be open. When you get it to the top, face tends to be wide open. Okay, I don't know if you can find a tour player that's going to look like that. So what we want you to practice is I want you to practice just moving your hand back, making sure there's a little cup there. As it gets back to here, feel like it's facing the wall. Gets to the top, feels like it's facing the sky. All right, if it's anything else, you should be able to feel it. So then when you take that club back, we have our right arm in the right position. Take it back to position 2. You can see there's starting to be a cup there. All right, it's facing the wall there. And then I'll get to the top, and I know my club face will be square. So I've got 2 good things going on right now. I know my right arm's most likely going to come into a better position in impact. And I know my club face, because the impact, we have a cup at impact. If we don't have a cup at impact, if we played our whole life without actually creating any wrists, correct wrist motions, we come into it kind of slapping it like that, it goes high and it goes short. All right, so this will help you compress the ball. These 2 ideas right away will help you compress the ball. Now we'll go into our third idea. Final step is we need to know what we can do as far as the size of our backswing to make sure we're most efficient with what we just talked about. So the first thing you have to understand is what kind of shoulder mobility do you have? So if you stand straight up and you try to move your arm back without your arm dropping, we want it to move back past the back of your head. Okay, if you can do that automatically, the stuff that we just covered should be very simple. You can have a nice full swing, all that kind of stuff. If you step up and you can't move back or you're stuck here, your golf swing needs to be shorter for you to use these moves to be most effective. Okay? And then if you want to take it to another step, you get into your golf posture, and we should see that arm move back without the elbow drop. Right? If you can't do that, or there's pain involved in that, your golf swing needs to be smaller, because we don't want the elbow coming out here, because then it's going to make the right arm, instead of doing what it needs to do, which is a move where it kind of drops this way to help us shallow the club or get it back on path. Your body physically doesn't want to do that. It doesn't know how to do that. It's too painful to do that. But what we can do is we can take your golf swing and we can make it shorter for you still to be able to do that, to have some of that ability. Okay, so You need to test that, see what it feels like. If you get to the top and you feel like that right arm can do that little move that way, then you're really good. It's going to help you shallow it. Your golf game's going to improve. We don't want to forearm wrestle it down to the ground. We want to, it's the idea of skipping kind of that rock. That's what the right arm should do. It should be able to move like that on the way down. So get your right arm in the right position, get a little bit of cup, test to see what your right arm can do on top. If you can get it here and you still feel like you can do that slight little move to get your arm to drop, then you're gonna, if you shallow the club, you already probably can do this. If you struggle with shallowing the club, maybe you just didn't know what that right arm should do, or if you need to make your golf swing smaller so it can have a better chance of doing that little drop move. All right, I hope these videos helped you today. They really should. You can either break them down into steps, or I would probably do that. I wouldn't try to put each one together. I'd work on them one at a time. The setup should be pretty simple, and then the right arm wrist move might take a little bit. All right, so thanks for watching today.